question everything. So yeah, it really puzzled me about different immigrations and different immigrants, or however you may want to see it, though. But it puzzles me to be able to really try to understand how immigrants coming from another country to America, to the United States, and go to protesting in the United States for problems in their own country, and be marching and up and down the street protesting on what's going on in their country instead of being in their country protesting over what's going on in their country. I just, it freaks me out in the thoughts, because at the end of the day, when you think about protesting here in America, protesting was done based off of Aboriginal Negroes being Holocaust and genocide and massacred here in America by this system of America, and the system of white supremacy being formed over us on our own lands, colonizing us right here on our own land. Thus, us protesting because of it right here on the lands that we are from, against the colonizers that came and colonized our land and been doing crazy atrocities to us ever since they've been here. Thus, this is why we protest. Protest against Jim Crow laws, protest against public whoopings and all sorts of burnings and hangings through the lynching tree and being lynched. Protest for unequal rights to be able to work or have housing or have businesses. We had unequal rights to be able to drink water or go use the bathroom or go to restaurants. So we protest for all these reasons right here in the country, which makes sense because this is where all the problems was happening to us at. This was where all the massacres and holocausts and genocides that took place on our bloodlines happened at, right here under the United States. So our protest made sense for us to protest here in America. We wanted rights to be able to be as we may be as a nation in America. And unlike any other nation, this was happening to us right here by what was set up to supposedly allow us to be a part of a system that actually took part in all these things that was happening to us. Even had laws that kept us in these positions. So we protest. And we protest. And we protest. But at the end of the day, to see nations coming from their own countries coming to America to protest and expect us as American citizens to go to bat for their country or their plight in their own country when they fled from their own country to come protest in a whole nother country to get another country's people involved in what is going on in their country, we never done. Nobody came to help us to this day as I speak on the plight of what the Aboriginal Negroes are faced with and has been going through ever since for the last 600 years of the colonizers getting here to our lands. And in that, we haven't got reparation, restoration, reparative justice on no level. Nor have we ever been liberated from our oppressors. Not once in a day, no way, no how. And in turn, we have learned and have to endure and adapt to all the different destructions that have come our way as a people, losing ourselves more and more in the process, running around with some form of psychosis as Aboriginal Negroes of America, lost on our own lands, not knowing who we are based off of what has been done to us. And only us in the whole world that falls under that category of being lost on who they are on their own land. No other nation has that plight. So when we protest and when we came together as a people, as a nation, on our own lands, as Aboriginal Negroes of America, protesting against the crimes against humanity that has happened to our people, all they did here was give us brothers and sisters that was willing to do the chucking and jiving, those so-called house brothers and sisters, as faces of our nation, to continue to circumvent us into a position of what we are right now as I speak, and that's impoverished, living in slums, ghettos, and hoods, with the dream that one day you can be like the 10, 9, and 1% of our people, when 85 to 90% of us are still struggling in these ghettos that have been fortified around us by a system of hatred that openly Holocaust, genocide, and massacred our people. And in today's time, we still have yet to see other nations go to bat for us in the form of fighting to get reparations for our people, fighting to get us liberated from the colonizers that all know has invaded the Americas and took over the soils and the resources of America. But everybody seemed to be okay with that, knowing that the colonizers that control America and control United States of America's government are the same colonizers that circumvented us out of our own land and identity, heritage, and culture 110,000%. So when I see people protesting that migrated and immigrated to this land over what is being done to themselves in their own country, I just don't get it. Because if you have all these plights and problems in your own country, don't you think you should be in your own country protesting and fighting to make it a better place for you to be able to live? Because see, we under a system here in America as Aboriginal Negroes that we've been fighting and protesting and boycotting and all sorts of things to make it a better place. And all this system does is find people that's willing to betray their own nation, betray our nation, turn their back on our nation, and then uplift them as if we all are getting an equal shot. When the system itself knows that it would never, ever, ever get the Aboriginal Negroes an equal shot. And this is why we protest. This is why we march. And this is why we stay at odds with the United States of America. Because as the Aboriginal Negroes of America, we are still under our oppressors. May it be the forefathers that came and slaughtered our people into this position we in, or the inheritors who inherited the maintenance of our oppression. It's still all one and the same. And whenever you deny or don't think it is to be the truth, then you must ask yourself, why they haven't gave us a bill passed yet for protection against hate crimes when we, as the people here, are the most hated in the country by their own federal census? Why they haven't gave us reparations for the crimes against humanity that has happened to our people, knowing openly that they have done this to us? They were so hideous with it to the point where they had black and white water, where if you got caught drinking white water, you can definitely get lynched. This is a real reality of what we live. Right now, as a people, we are the most mass incarcerated people in the whole entire world. Literally, you can look it up. No one on earth is more demonized as criminals by their government than the Aboriginal Negroes of America. So when you see us protesting and when you see us at odds with this system and against this system and going opposite of what the system is actually having to put out, it's because we always been at odds with our oppressors and our colonizers here on our own soil, doing the things that they have done to us in the most horrific manner you can ever possibly imagine, to where their schools, institutions, religious unions, news, and any other avenue of information will not put out because it's too gorish and too unbelievably written out for you to understand or comprehend to the fullest without having a straight up fallout or straight up crisis within yourself to know that the Aboriginal Negroes have lived, gone, and still dealing with this plight to this day. So with that, I tell you, if you want to protest and you want to make a difference as immigrants, then you need to do that at home. Why? Because that's where the problem lies. And that's where you make a change at. Because no other place is going to be able to do a greater change for you than you at your own home. And with that, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. But that is the question. You let me know. Peace, peace.